Welcome to Spotlight with Shonda Scott. We are here for our special interview with the Interim Superintendent, Dr. Devin Dillon, who is with us to talk about her vision for the school year and tell us a little bit about herself and her experience and wonderful time in coming to Oakland Unified School District. Dr. Dillon, thank you. I'm so glad we finally got you in studio, and perfect timing to celebrate your new interim position.
Thank you.
So just tell us a little bit about your journey to OUSD, Oakland Unified School District.
Great. So I started out in college as a paraeducator in the classroom, just as a part-time job, and pretty soon found that I loved kids and loved being around children, and so worked my way through into being a teacher and pretty traditional path in education, assistant principal, a central office leader.
So you've covered everything.
Kind of worked my way up through a pretty traditional career the last 20 years.
Right.
I can't believe it's been 20 years I've been in education.
Now that you're in the interim superintendent role,
yes,
congratulations.
Thank you.
You actually try to visit a school site a day,
yes,
right? Or at least weekly you're going to the school. What's that experience like?
So it's been great. It's been a way for me to get out and be visible in the community, see how things are playing out in the schools. Talk to students, talk to families, listen, learn, and so that's really been my focus of the first 30 days, has been listening and learning and just trying to take in as much information as possible.
So for this next school year, have you thought about, like, what would you feel like the one thing you accomplished that you would feel like, okay, I did that, I'm feeling good, I've accomplished this in the school? What would be that one thing that you can think about that you'd want to complete this school year?
So one word comes to mind, and that's stability. I really think about the need we have in Oakland to maintain excellent staff despite challenges with budget and declining enrollment, really trying to keep the focus on the good things that are happening in Oakland, make sure we keep our best teachers and best principals, and that we keep our focus on instruction and capturing students into the district so that we don't face declining enrollment every year. We should be stabilizing enrollment or increasing with all the great things happening in our district. So success for me would be keeping the focus on our students and our teachers.
We covered the parade for McClymonds High School. Yes. It was like one of your first, ceremonial events that you led as interim superintendent. So that was what was that like? Because that was the first time Oakland really did a whole parade for a high school.
Such a beacon of light for our community, and just really lifting up the success of our athletes. And they're state champions. It's so incredible. I was at McClymonds yesterday, and just seeing the pride on the young men and the cheerleaders and the support around that community, and just feeling like this is the MAC house.
Right,
this is
our
family.
Right, tradition,
Right, and the
legacy.
Generations of families who have gone to MAC and have their children there now, and seeing their increased student achievement also, graduation rates, A through G completion, all of that is just like, yes, that's what we're trying to get done
good
here.
Stories. Those are stories that we want to tell that don't always get told. I mean, one thing I know you said at the parade was like, I want you all to know how it feels to win, like to be winners, because you're going to go on and win again in life, and just remember how that feels.
Yes.
And that's good for them to have that experience, because that's how you can continue to be successful, just remembering those moments where you've had victories along the way to say, okay, we did it then, we can do it again.
Yeah.
So that was a great day. But as OUSD is looking for the next school year and planning things out, what would be your focus for the next school year? If you just had a crystal ball or something, you could say, I wish we could have this happen next year. Or what would you want to be the focus, in addition to the stability for the end of this year, but just moving forward?
So I think two things really. One is around literacy and making sure that all kids are reading by first grade. We're still not moving the needle fast enough on our kids really knowing how to read, reading at proficiency by first grade. We talk a lot about third grade reading, but it's almost too late when they get to third grade. The time to get kids caught up is by first grade. So early literacy would be one area that I believe we need to focus more on. And then the second is around the experience of our girls and young women, as we've had a lot of attention on our boys and our young men, but when we look at the experiences of young women in our system, particularly young women of color, we see that the experience is not always a positive one. They're being suspended at higher rates than any other group of students, African American young women. And so I think when we look at that, we need to really drill down on what is that about? How do we support our women to shine their light and to be successful and see themselves, you know, as our next generation of Shondas or Devins? Or,
and I was going to say, and I was going to say, you're a perfect example of that.
I think
Thank
just,
you.
Having our young women feel empowered to be smart, to be brilliant, and to be safe at school and in the community, I think are a couple of areas I'd really like to impact.
Well, great. Well, we thank you for joining us, and we're just happy to have you here. And like you said, the stability and the continuation, I didn't realize it had been during your third year. I mean, just time really flies. So just having you here for that amount of time has been tremendous too, and just keeping that going. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm so honored to lead in Oakland. Such a great community, and I appreciate you and
thank you.
Bringing awareness to our district.
And letting everybody see the light that shines here. We like to shine the spotlight on the great things happening in Oakland, and especially in Oakland Unified. Thank you.
Thank you, Shonda.
You're welcome. You've been watching Spotlight. Our spotlight today is on the Interim Superintendent, Dr. Devin Dillon of the Oakland Unified School District, where every student thrives. Thank you for joining us.